welcome back to Still We Persist. This week we have, since we've gone through all the other sinners, this week we are going to do a different format. So I don't have any of the topics today. Everybody else has a topic. But other than that, I'm one of your hosts, Benajza, and I'll pass it on to the other hosts to introduce themselves.
My name is Yajirrah.
My name's Julie.
And I'm Jada. And we're just kind of going to go with the flow today and just kind of see where it lands. And I have the first topic, and hopefully this makes sense, but let me know. I can repeat it. But it's, what is something you have to constantly explain to other people in regards to your identity, race, culture, etc.? It doesn't even have to be in regards to that. But what's something you have to constantly explain to other people about yourself? And just in case y'all need, I can go first, just as an example. But I am adopted from China, and foreign adoptions are a lot different than adoptions in the U.S. And so there will be people constantly that are like, oh, can't you just go search up on the internet where your parents are and stuff? And it gets really annoying because I'm like, no, that's just not how it works. And also, China back then when I was born was during the one-child policy. So it makes it even harder because most likely I was just kind of someone gave birth to me and left, it's not as easy as it is in the U.S. because there's not as much documentation. So yes, that's what I have. But that was a big one to dump on y'all. So.
We're jumping in today.
Yeah.
We're jumping hot. Ooh.
We'll have some fun questions too.
Because I was like, oh, I have mine, and you said that. I was like, I don't want to go after that.
No, you should share yours.
Well, mine is, a lot of people always ask me what things mean. Like, they'll come up and ask, oh, what does this mean? I saw it on the internet, and it's like, oh, this is what it means. I don't even know a lot of times, and then I just, you can tell from the video or wherever they found it from, or what they're speaking, or what they're talking about, the meaning of it, and so I just explain it there, or sometimes I just lie.
That's where your lying comes in.
Oh, lying? I think I lie more because I moved, and now I'm just I'm a new person. My name's not really Benajza.
This whole time,
This
is your confession. It's gonna be on the wanted list and be like, that's Benajza, but
It's just me and my photo,
yeah.
Well,
Some crazy stuff.
fine.
I feel like I've done that to you.
You have.
I've asked you questions about what.
I don't mind it, though. There's things that I'm
just happens.
that makes sense. Yeah. And people would be like, what does woke mean? Search it on the internet, please.
Urban Dictionary, some of that,
Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
People use me as their Urban Dictionary. I'm like, that's not fair. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
One about me is I think that it's for my sexuality, it's usually people are they see me and that bitch is gay, I'm so sorry. But then it's and then I have to be no, I like men, and then it's a whole conversation, and people are always I feel like I have that conversation quite a bit with people.
I've had that conversation 3 times in the last week with 3 different people, 3 different friends. I'm just fuck.
Man,
What am I doing?
Yeah, it's.
I don't mind it though. I'm just all right.
Yeah, it's complex though. I don't mind the conversation as well, but I do think it's interesting to see how even in today's society where I think everyone's welcoming, we still conform to those, those stereotypes and images that we have in our heads that we've been taught.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess one about me is just explaining my ethnicity and background, because a lot of people don't think I'm Mexican. A lot of people think I'm Asian, and the opposite from that. And I don't even know how to explain that for people. People think I'm completely different. I'm from completely different cultures. And I'm that's I don't know how I look a certain way or how that constitutes as one. But I feel that's one I have to constantly explain to people whenever they ask me where I'm from. I'm oh, it's Mexico, and they're oh, I didn't even think that.
Mm. That happens to me all the time, except opposite. People think I'm actually Latina, and they'll be yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel that on a whole nother level. I actually forgot about that until you said that, but people be lumping us into categories.
Yeah.
I've been told this. Someone this is completely different from countries, but someone told me that I look Alaskan. I don't know what that means.
What do they look like over there?
Yeah.
What's going on? Those categories, man.
Yeah.
Put up,
We got Alaskan.
yeah.
No.
People in boxes.
Do I look
Like you
Californian? Do
No,
y'all look
I feel like-
Oregonian?
Well,
I mean,
like
I'm
I
from
think
California.
Alaskan actually might be an ethnicity, maybe because
Oh,
they
shit.
have like
Is
Native
it?
American slash or Native Alaska or something. Because I don't know. I was doing a project and looking at statistics, and they had like Native.
Isn't it on like one of the
Alaskanness.
boxes you have to check off?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I've seen that like on a form
Ah.
or something. Yeah.
See, I don't
There's
pay
so
attention.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just look for the B.
Yeah.
I look
I
for
was
the
like, for
Asian.
I look
Hispanic.
for the A too. I'm like, yeah.
The B is usually under. I'm like, right, well, there we
Yeah.
go. Happy holidays. And then, are you Hispanic or Latino? No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Did we finish that question?
Yeah.
we did.
That's
Yeah, we
pretty
did.
good. That's
I just
pretty good.
learned
Good
a lot about y'all.
I
I
relate to
know.
Julie's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever
It's
since middle
interesting.
school, it's always just put in one box.
Always put in one box. Those
Honestly, it's okay though,
boxes.
because that's where the question came from for me to think about it, and I'm just like, oh, so other people being like, why are you? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just here.
Man.
It's interesting how we try to just define people and like I know we keep saying it, but put them in a box of like, oh, you are this.
I know it's like that constant like need of like, oh, I need people to fit in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like easier for people to think about it. Like, if it's like if people aren't in categories and boxes and labeled, like, do we just not know like what to do with those ideas then?
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's too free, it's too up in the air.
Or like we have to know everything all the time. Like I can't know if Yajirrah is Mexican or not. Like I need to know
Yeah.
if she is. Like, you know, I feel like that's
I wish somewhere
root.
where it's like, it feels like people are trying to figure out how to disrespect you.
Oh.
Like what way to disrespect you? Because if you say something disrespectful and it's not like their identity, it's like you're a
Like,
dummy.
I'm not taking that to heart. I mean, I don't take it to heart no matter what, but it's
Yeah.
they're just completely curbing
honestly,
it.
I think that kind of makes sense because I think we would try to define like who a person is so we can categorize them in our brain on whether or not we like them or not. Like
Yeah.
unconsciously.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, if you're a racist person, you might not like that someone is a different race and you need to know if they're white or not. I don't know. I don't know.
I see that. I see that happening.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Those boxes.
Those boxes, man.
Get rid of
Well,
them.
let's go to the next one.
Oh yeah.
Who wants to do the
you,
next
you want to
one?
do yours?
Sure, I'll do
Yeah,
mine.
you do your.
I wrote mine down.
I wrote mine down too.
Okay, it's
Good
my
job,
one
Doc.
question.
Alright.
So do any of you like experience imposter syndrome? And if you do, how do you navigate it? Because like for me, a lot of imposter syndrome being here, like all the time, especially because I graduated early, and so it's just like I'm surrounded by so many different people and people who are older than me. I'm like, sure, I worked hard to get here, but do I really deserve to be here? And I feel like for me, it's my age that like brings my imposter syndrome, just because I'm so much younger than everyone, and it's like weird. I don't really know how I navigate it. I guess it's just a constant reminder of like, oh, I worked hard for this. I put in all that effort to take 10 classes my junior year just to get here and like make all the applications and get through the 2 terms that I've already been here.
Why did you decide to graduate early?
I needed out of that town.
Oh, you
I needed out of the town. I
get
was
out.
done with high school.
Yeah.
And it was also just, I wasn't getting very much academic stimulation as I wanted. And so I was like, okay, let's accelerate this. Let's
Next
get out of
level.
here. And so, and I just needed to get out of that town. And so I was like, okay, let's take the next step. Let's be the adult, even though I'm like 16.
Yeah.
Well, granted, I made that decision, I think, when I was 15. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I graduated at 16. Which
Look
is
at
so
you go,
odd.
Yajirrah.
So crazy.
It's so crazy
Yeah.
whenever you think about it, because my friends are graduating in a month, and they'll all be 18 by that point. I'm like, oh my god, I wouldn't even be 18 when I graduated.
Yeah.
Can we like define imposter syndrome? Because I think it can probably be defined in multiple ways. But are we? Because I think initially I thought imposter syndrome was like not feeling like you fit into a physical space. But I don't know if you have a different definition
For
of it.
me, imposter syndrome is like feeling like you don't deserve to have the things that you have and like be in the spaces that you are in. And so it's like with me,
Yeah.
like being in college at such a young age, I don't feel like parts of me don't feel like I belong here just because it's like I'm so much younger than everyone, even though I'm on the exact same level as like my class.
Yeah.
Google says it's a condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally. But
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, because I study in engineering and there's not a lot of women in engineering, and then there's not a lot of people of color in engineering, and some of the ways that people treat you in these classes subconsciously is kind of wild. But a lot of times I just be like, man, F them people. I made it. I did a lot of work to get here. We're at the same level at this point. I might even be like a little bit more advanced or a little bit behind, but whatever reason, we're still in the same class. Or I'm at this internship by myself. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, I always figured it out at some point. So, like, I don't know. Something about it, I just be like, damn, I had a formed thought and it died in my head.
Okay.
It's like something about when I feel like I have too much imposter syndrome or I'm not supposed to be somewhere, I think about how hard I worked to get here and the reasons why I'm here. And, like, other folks who have gotten here for like less kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's hard because Yajirrah and Benajza are both engineering, and Julie, aren't you biohealth sciences? Like, y'all are in STEM majors. I kind of feel like in a way similar, but definitely not the same, because engineering is definitely like more male dominated.
Very.
But my major's more female dominated, which like is fine, but it's also a lot of like white females, so I feel like I just don't get that perspective as much. But along the lines of imposter syndrome, I feel like oftentimes, I've had this conversation with multiple people, but oftentimes being a woman of color, people will be like, oh, you only got a scholarship because you are a woman of color, you know, like you
Diversity hire.
Yeah, like you're just here for diversity, and so Oregon State can check off a box that they're, you know, diverse, and they can take pictures of you, and you can be featured on a pamphlet. So then, you know, other people of color will be like, hey, Oregon State's diverse, you know. So I think the scholarship thing is mostly what comes to my mind when I think of imposter syndrome in my life, because, you know, you hear all the time like, oh, you just got it because you're Asian or something. Oh, you just got it because you're a minority, and they give minorities special treatment. So, yeah, that's for me.
One of the silliest things out there.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
when they
it's-
do that, you know,
It's
it's like,
insane.
I know, you're like, I can't believe you're getting this because you're a minority. It's like, my whole life I've experienced terrible things.
But also, the ones who aren't minorities get a lot of things their whole life
Their
because they
whole
aren't minorities. So I'm like,
It's their
if
privilege.
I'm a diversity hire, I will be the diversity hire.
Yeah.
I still had to beat somebody else out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You still lost to the diversity hire, so that
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cry about it.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly how they feel. They're like, as soon as it's not, or as soon as it's taken away from them, that's when they start to have a problem. But, you know, they have blinders on to it even happening, which is what you said, privilege. Like,
Yeah.
No.
And with that thing, we lose out a lot of times because of the privilege thing that they get. So I'm like, you
Yeah.
lost this one time.
100%.
They're not even losing anything like extra. They're literally just losing like their privilege.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. And then they're like, this is the end of the world.
They're losing it and turning it to like a matter of like,
Discrimination.
yeah.
Yeah. Just silliest thing out there.
It's such an odd argument.
Yeah. It's like, it's also like, people who like do get like these scholarships, like all y'all have worked really hard to get those scholarships despite everything that you have faced, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's frustrating to be like, you only got it because you're a minority. Shut up, you know. Like, no.
Like, I don't say, oh, you just got it because you're white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
I think in my head,
Even though it's
sometimes
yeah, no, it's true.
I'd be like, you shouldn't have had that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but
We ball.
I guess we only started saying that until it initially started against people of color, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like us pointing at each other, like,
Yeah.
it's
Spider-Man
you.
meme.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did do the Spider-Man thing. But, yeah.
yeah.
Did you answer?
I don't know how to get rid of imposter syndrome.
But do you experience it in
Oh,
any way?
so much. Like every second, especially like when I started at WGC like a year ago, I was like, damn, like these people, like they like, I felt like they were so much more educated than me still, you know, about like issues in the world and all that stuff, and people are doing all these things and achieving all these things, and I was just sitting there like, I know nothing. And like, I don't feel like I've ever really gone over it. Like, it's just constantly, I feel like in a room, despite who I'm with, I always feel like I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I don't belong here.
It's hard. Imposter syndrome is such a weird thing to experience. Because it's like, you work so hard to get there, but then your mind's like, oh, you don't deserve to be here. And it's just so weird feeling that anxiety about places that you worked so hard to get to that like you want to be in, but your mind is just telling you that you don't even belong there.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about like getting out to the field later. Because I graduate next year. I think the three of us graduate next year.
Yeah.
Oh my
But,
God.
sorry.
I'll graduate in 3 years.
Preparing you to take this over.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to bring people in.
You and Kylie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
You'll be the
Right.
Aya peeps.
Oh yeah, Rain's not.
Yeah,
I
Rain's unfortunate.
love him though, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying before that?
I don't even.
Getting into the field after
Dang,
graduating.
this new age brain gone.
Yeah, it's
Your frontal
taking a
lobe
toll
is
on you.
finally developed.
I know, and it's not working anymore. Getting into the field, I'm really worried about getting into the field and feeling that imposter syndrome. Over the summer, I was feeling it a little bit, but then like something would happen, and I'd be like, it's just me here. Like I'm chilling. Like I'm doing everything, and I don't even have this degree yet. And I'm like, they trust me to do a lot of stuff. I'm doing different math equations that I'm like, oh, this is how I could do this, and they didn't even ask me to do that. Like, so I was here for it. Yeah, I don't think we ever beat it.
I was gonna
No.
say that. I don't think it ever
There's
fully
no
goes
cure for
away.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. There's no end to imposter syndrome.
Syndrome.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There could be fluctuations and such, but I don't
Yeah.
think there's a cure.
Yeah.
Wait, you said no cure.
Yeah,
kinda
no cure, but
sucks.
no,
It does.
what's called-
Yeah. It's kind of like, damn.
I felt that way about the Women and Gender Center when I first got here,
Yeah.
especially during training. I was like, these people are so smart and they know so many things about
I
social
know.
justice. And I think it's also just how I grew up in the town that I did. We didn't really learn much about, you know, current events and things like that. So, you know, the Portland Public School peeps like Hazel and Maya, like shout out to them. They're so knowledgeable about everything. But
Yeah.
every time they speak, I'm like, what are you like?
Yeah.
Like they're so wise in their knowledge, and I feel like I'm not that way. But you know, I think one thing about imposter syndrome is it's realized to me, it's like shown my growth. I guess like I don't know, thinking about where I was at the Women and Gender Center last year. Has it been 2 years? This is the second year. Yeah. So last year versus now, I feel like I'm a whole new person. So.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, no, I feel like imposter syndrome for me, it's a way for me to see my growth, but it also like pushes me to like work harder in a sense, even though I work very hard for what I have. It's that fuel that keeps me going. Even if it is like an underlying, oh, I have to prove myself to be here.
Yeah.
I thrive off that stress, which is maybe being toxic, but
I
I
thrive
get
off
stuff done.
of proving people wrong. when people treat me a wild way, I'd be like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You will fail this class, and I will get an A. Okay.
I don't
You
know.
gotta go.
Oh, yeah,
Your
yeah.
question.
Let me do my question.
Julia has a lot of options. Let's see what route you're gonna go.
I know. Well, since we're talking about like this, it's like, you know, fears and insecurities. What is your biggest fear about your life? And I'll give you some time to think about this because I was, you know, I wrote this question, so I know mine. My biggest fear is ending up alone. Like not just like alone as in like a partner sense, but like alone as in like no friends, no family, no significant other. Because my biggest value in life is human connection. So if I was to end up with none of that, it'd be scary and sad. But then I was thinking, like, you know, like obviously, like if you end up like that way, like, you know, something's up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how did you manage to cut everybody off
So biggest fear for our life,
for your life?
total.
I feel like getting old and at the end being like, damn, I really didn't do much. Or fearing like I let others navigate my life into the way that I didn't do what I wanted to do. And so now it's too late to do what I want. Like for my grandparents, my grandma has always wanted to travel, but my grandpa was always like, oh, like, wait, we'll travel later. And now like they're in their 80s and my grandma has not traveled much of anywhere other than like London when he was in the forces. And so like she hasn't been able to go anywhere, and now it's like way too late because she's like old. She's old and frail. Not frail. I'm not gonna call my grandma frail. But she's just old and like she can't move around like she would like to. Or if she does go anywhere, it's not like she's gonna do what she wanted to. So I'm like,
A wasted life. Not wasted.
damn.
Damn. Well, congrats.
Sorry, Benajza's grandma.
Sorry, Benajza's grandma. Yeah, 'cause it's like, you're right. Like, she can't travel. Like, she can't be walking around the streets of wherever she wants to go anymore.
She doesn't even walk around her house if my grandpa isn't there.
Yeah.
She worried that she'll fall.
Yeah. Body grows frail.
I think I like also share the same ones that both of you mentioned. Like being alone is one of them, not even just a partner sense, but all different areas of your life. And then also just not fulfilling the things that I want to do. And it's like I'm a very list person and I have a bucket list, of course, but it's not even just getting to like those bucket list items, but more so just appreciating the life that I have ahead of me and taking advantage of opportunities like that, you know, and not looking back regretful of what I didn't do. So I've been trying to say F it in my head more often and just doing it. Like going to kickball tonight, I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? It's like 30 minutes of my time. Like
It's only 30 minutes?
it's only,
Wow.
well, I don't know actually
I
for
don't
sure,
know.
but you know.
want to go together? You want me to pick you up?
You know, maybe. I still need to pay and do the things.
Oh,
But
I got to do. We'll talk about this later.
yeah, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, but yeah, just, you know, taking advantage of life experiences and traveling and such.
Yeah.
I guess for me, my biggest fear for my life is letting the like negative and like traumatic experiences that I've had in my life like overcome and make me a bad person. Because I strive to be a good person and I strive to like not let those things like turn me into a certain way, and it's just like take them as learning experiences rather than like something that's gonna like forever change the trajectory of my life. And so I guess that's just like one of my biggest fears, just letting those overcome me and make me into like a bad person.
I share that. I feel like that's like a big fear I have in my life right now. It's like, you know, you're like, what if I lose everyone? Because I've just been like a bad person because of everything that I've been taught and experienced.
Yeah. That was a good question, Julie.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been kind of having sad questions.
I know.
I know.
Do you want to lighten?
Let's
I
switch up the mood.
This one
started on the serious note.
Change the format. And you guys were like, no, let's be serious right
Let's
now.
get deep in.
Okay, but I love talking about deep topics.
I'm gonna psychoanalyze this video and just get the whole thing of real.
Okay, I feel like we talked about this at a staff meeting once, but just for the episode here, and if it's changed, but if you could master a skill or a hobby, what would it be?
Oh, I forgot
And
what I said.
again, it doesn't have to be like a sport, because most people go to sports or athleticism. It can be anything in the world.
I would want to be like a really quick learner of languages. I would love to just be able. I watched a video of this man. He like stands on the street and he's like, if you can come up and speak a language that I don't know, I'll give you like $100 or something. And like people come up and speak these like random languages, and he'd be like, da da da, like I got you. And you're just like, oh, like, or he'll be like, oh, like I think the last one was like in Thailand. It was like a language in Thailand, and there's 3 languages, and he knew 2 of them, but the person spoke the 3rd one, and he's like,
That's where,
but they could understand each other. I'm like, see,
yeah.
that would be cool if I could just be like, I want to learn this language, and then by the next month, I know it.
Yeah. Did you say that at the staff meeting? That's a really good one.
I love languages. Like I like to be able to communicate with people. I just really feel bad when I can't, and if they like speak to me, I'm like,
I'm just thinking about the vulgar words in ASL.
bald-headed. I won't say the rest of it, but I kind of did. But yeah, if you're gonna learn ASL on TikTok, learn it from people. Learn it from deaf people who know ASL, not just randoms on TikTok who like, I learned this word. Don't learn it from people like me. We don't really know the full language yet. So like, learn it from people who actually know.
Yeah. All right, what about you, Julie?
Mine would be skateboarding. I know you just, like, yours is really cool, but mine would be skateboarding. I want to, like, I feel like I, like, skate pretty well, you know, but I'm not really a tricks person. And I want to be doing, like, some, like, you know, I want that board to be flipping in the air and spinning, and, like, I'm, like, doing a cartwheel or something, you know, like, it would be hella sick.
I almost said crocheting, but I'm like, I could be good at that by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I could continue learning Korean for the rest of this year and still not know a lot.
Yeah, like when you said that, I was like, damn, maybe I should choose something like more like it'll affect my life more. But I'm like,
No,
that's
we're
it.
talking master.
You
So
can eat Tony
you'd
Hawk.
be like a master at this skill.
Yeah, like
A master skateboarder,
Tony Hawk would
Julie.
shake your hand. Be like, good job.
I'd be kind of, plus it'd be extra sick because there's not that many women pro skaters.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's not lame.
Thank you. Thanks
did
for
really well.
validation.
I feel like something I want to learn, because I can't think of anything super big, it'd be surfing. I really want to learn how to surf.
Ooh.
Because I think it's so cool. Granted, I'm terrified of the ocean. Like,
I don't like the sea much.
terrified of the
Yeah.
ocean. I think surfing is so cool. And I want to, like, get over my fear of the ocean a little bit. But, yeah, I really want to learn how to surf, because I think it's really cool. And I think it would be a lot of fun. And I want to take the PAT class here.
Oh, yeah.
You do want to
I
take
do.
it?
Cold.
That would be fun.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend took it, and he really liked it. And after you take it, you can, like, you can get, like, a discount from the, like, teacher's shop out in Newport.
Wow. How do they teach you how to surf without any waves?
They teach you in
In the
Langton,
pool like this.
in the pool.
They just make their own.
There's someone on the other side just rowing.
They teach you in the pool, I think, like the general like basics of like how to stand on a
stand and stuff.
board, and then I would assume they have some like wave simulator type thing.
Yeah.
Someone going.
And then I know there's like a couple days throughout the term that they take you out to Newport to actually like practice at the beach.
Oh, that's
There's a place in
sick.
California that has an indoor wave thing.
Yeah,
or
I've
surfing
seen like
thing.
videos of
Oh,
those.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That
I
could be
felt
you.
so hard. But yeah,
Shredding.
Yeah, but I want to learn how to do that.
I think that one's harder than regular surfing though. So
Probably.
don't
Just
know.
because that's a
Actually-
constant voice.
surfers, I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do either. Did you say one?
I didn't. I think I have multiple, so I'm kind of cheating. But I think cooking would be fun. Like those people who just like whip up, dishes with like 5 ingredients, like chopped kind of.
Oh, I
I'm
love
like,
chopped.
Wow. Like it would be so fun to just whip things up and cook. But I also would probably do like gymnastics or something because they are impressive. I go to the meets and stuff and I'm like, damn, they're the most athletic people on this planet. Like they could survive anything.
No, I
Like,
feel that Gabby Douglas was like my idol growing up.
Yeah, like how do you think about all the events and you're like, how do they have that much flexibility, balance, power, endurance? Like there's literally all of them.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to be her so badly growing up because I used to do gymnastics. And so I like watched all her documentaries and all her movies and like Simone Biles. I was like, I want to do that one day.
Yeah.
And then I got too tall. And they were like, you can't do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
You need to
Because
talk.
gymnasts are really short.
Yeah, gymnasts are like
They're small.
short and
Because it helps with their like speed and like agility when they do all the stuff. And it gets really hard when you get like to a certain height just because it's a lot on your body. That's why I had to stop doing all my sports.
dang, I didn't even know that.
Damn, all your sports?
Yeah.
You played
Did you play
basketball.
basketball?
I
for
did
your
play
high-
basketball, but I quit basketball to go into cheer.
Damn.
Just because I wanted to do something close to gymnastics, but then cheer broke all my bones.
Oh.
It actually didn't. I threw my back out once, and I have wrist problems.
Threw your back out as a teenager? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. It hurt so badly. And
You're like
I have-
smiling through it. I'm like, did it? Are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm fine now. Granted,
Okay.
I have like permanent like wrist problems and ankle problems
Oh.
and like knee problems.
I'm sorry.
It's bad. I was like braced like head to toe by the end of my sophomore year.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a
Mad
lot.
respect.
Yeah. That's crazy. Woo.
Yeah.
You have another one?
Yeah.
Maybe more should we do?
Have
Maybe one or two more.
this one I feel like is gonna take up the rest of the time.
Okay, good.
Have any of you ever been in love?
What? The way you did that move of the yawn and the
Yeah, I know. You ever been in love?
No.
Okay, I guess it won't be a long question.
I'm saying no just because it's like I've never had like an actual relationship. I'm also only 17.
You are. I know, that's what I was like. You are. Yeah, I don't think I found love at 17.
No, I would hope I'm not finding love at 17.
The people I liked at 17 was terrible. So I'm like, I hope you are doing well, but never contact me. I've seen some of y'all on Facebook.
but Naja's better off without you.
Truly.
Yeah.
The first guy that I ever had a crush on for like years has a child. Two.
Oh my
Two children. Two children, same age.
Oh
yep.
wow.
Mhm.
I don't
How
remember
far
the first
away
one.
Or
I
how
still
long
remember my first
ago
crush.
was
I was in kindergarten.
this? Like, when did you have the crush on?
I had a crush on him. Like we were like neighbors, and then like I was in first grade, and I went to a different school than the one in my district, and then he eventually moved into that school. So I had a crush on him from when I was in first grade up until 8th grade.
Whoa.
So it was in K through 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even crush. I don't think I had my first crush until like 7th grade. Because I remember me be like, people are here. Like, move. Get out of my face. I just want to do my schoolwork and go home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been like that for a minute. I was just like, ugh.
Julie and I, first grade, kindergarten.
I know. I'm just like every year I kind of have another crush, but
The only thing I remember about kindergarten is them trying to feed us green eggs and ham, and I was like, it's not supposed to be green. Get it out of my face.
I smacked my head on the playground in kindergarten.
I peed my pants.
in kindergarten. Dang.
That happens though.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Kid things.
Yeah.
I used to stress my teachers out because I would do the swing thing. The goal was to always go 360, but when I realized I couldn't go 360 and I was going to like a certain height, I would just jump off at the top.
No, you told me about this.
I would stress that lady out so much. She was
I'd be stressed too. What the heck?
I always made it, but I never broke anything. I only broke a bone, and when I was 3 days before 8th grade.
That volleyball tryout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was ripstick. I was
Yeah.
doing the ripstick. I did volleyball. I did try out with a broken wrist, and I made the team.
That's
My
exciting.
wrist was just broken for the whole time, and so he was like, "Come back next time." And then I realized how like bruised up volleyball players be, and I was like,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fun sport though.
Jada,
I
do you
did
want to
color.
answer the question?
Yeah. Are you?
Julie literally asked an engaged person
Have
if you ever been in love.
Jada,
Yes, I
no.
have been in love.
Never been in love.
Never been
I was
in love.
engaged.
I just can't believe I asked this question because you're right. I do know the answers to each and every one of yours.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
Did you really
Okay,
know
this
the
is
answer?
going on the
Yeah.
internet.
Me and you have had this conversation before.
For real?
Mhm.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have a lot of conversations though.
Yeah.
I love my fiance.
Oh, that's
That's
good.
good. That's
Yeah,
really
stick that
good.
in there.
Yes.
Say it on
Yes.
cameras.
But I don't want to like.
You don't have to explain it.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's
yeah.
your
Yeah.
that's your
Okay,
private
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Or
be
no,
another-
I just didn't want to make it seem like, because y'all were like, no. And I didn't want to be like, actually, yeah, I am. So,
I've been in
F
love.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been in love, half and half.
Half and half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to No Love Gang.
Okay.
Engineers.
Are you talking about your neighbor? Is that the
My
love?
neighbor?
Is that
Or are
your
you?
No.
No, you're keeping your love secret.
No, I was in a relationship. Like, I was in a relationship my freshman year. And that was my first love. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Let's not talk anymore about her. Anyways.
No, it's okay.
People you meet freshman year stay in freshman year.
It's
Sometimes.
Yeah, it was like 2 years. But anyways, okay.
We can talk about bad relationships another time.
Bad relationships.
I have my fair share.
Yeah.
To the guy that I think I ruined your life, I'm sorry. I technically didn't date you. We didn't date. It's okay. Happy
Okay.
holidays. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Your
could
music
do
sounds
a couple
nice.
of those too.
Huh? Your music sounds nice. I'm sorry.
Anyways, okay.
You have any
Yeah.
questions?
No, Yajirrah can close this. Oh wait, no, you
What?
only had one.
I have another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This will be the
another one.
finisher.
Do y'all believe in a higher power?
Oh,
There is like
back to the deep.
there is a thing that it's like you don't know which one it is or like what it's called, but like you believe something's there. I'm there. Like I don't know what it's called. I forget what it is. It's on the
Agnostic.
yeah, it's on the dating app. So I was like, oh, what's this?
Yeah,
And I
the
searched it
dating
and I was like, I'm not.
I think it's
Thank goodness, I'm not going back on those. But
Yeah.
oh, we should have talked about those. Those are I have
A dating app?
very funny stories.
Next episode can
Next
be
episode.
relationships.
Nope.
No.
Not
Staying out
not
those
reading
things.
those terms and conditions.
Please stay off of that.
It's not
But
good.
yeah.
You can swipe on mine. You can give it a look. So what's on there?
Babes, I have enough stories for the both of us. I was on the last dating app I was on for 3 days.
Oh my god.
Because of one message, I said delete the whole thing.
I can't.
Wait,
Oh my
what
God.
one was it? What platform?
It was Hinge. Because Hinge, you don't have to like you don't have to like them already. They can just send
You
a
can
message.
just message anyone.
And that creature sent the message. And I
People
was like,
fighting over text makes me want to vomit.
Oh my gosh, the way you just.
I will tell you what it is after this, because
Oof.
Yeah.
I got a good one from Tinder though. It was like on my bio. It's literally just like I'll drive, smiley face, and then it's like I think this is the best deal. Is you drive, I'll pay, and I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it. We can do anything you want. You can do whatever you want.
I think we really should next episode
Next
talk
episode.
about really.
I'll listen to you
Okay, 'cause no, what the hell?
I know you're like, no, I like
The
driving.
amount of people who are like, you wanna, I don't know what's with my hometown, but I think it's more towns than just my hometown. But a lot of people just want to go on late night drives with you. And, babes, I'm not going.
Okay,
What do you
it's
mean?
a little scary.
Yeah,
First
that
time?
is kind of scary.
First time, and then
I
I,
love
saw.
going on late night drives.
Oh yeah,
though.
like
It's
the vibes.
fun.
I love it by myself,
But
not
when you
with some
don't,
rando.
when you don't know the person, it can
Yeah,
become
it's
really
weird.
dangerous.
And then like
Yeah.
there's the few times that I've seen the people in public afterwards, like I'm just like, oh, I gotta run. This is not good for me. But yeah, we can talk
Yeah.
about that. How the heck did we get on this?
I have no
know.
idea.
It's just my
Higher
fault.
power.
Oh, on a dating app.
app.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm also agnostic. I think I believe that there's a higher power. I don't know which one it is, and
you're so smart. You knew that word immediately.
I don't know why I do know that word, but
You
I
know
just
a lot
do.
of things.
Yeah, I think I'm agnostic, which is what you're describing. Like, you believe in a higher power, but you don't know what one it is, and you're not really skewed towards one or another. You kind of accept that you won't know until you encounter it. So
Day comes.
yeah.
Hopefully I do well enough. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe there's a higher power. Just 'cause I grew up like in a religious family, and so it's like that's all I've like known growing up. But it's just like it's so weird if you actually think about it like in technical terms. I'm like I just don't know how that happened, and I don't like. I feel like it's weird to think that there's some like higher being out there.
Yeah.
Because that's a little freaky to me.
It's weird.
My people are religious. Not my people. My family are
My
religious.
peeps.
But they're like, we're the people who showed up like 10 minutes after the ceremony starts. And so like everybody's like staring at you. So we didn't go much. And so they just do their own things. And I got to like explore myself. And then I went to a Christian college. And that was funny. I think that made it worse.
That was funny.
That was, that's such a, I think about that and I'm like, that's such a weird year and a half of my life that I think about. I'm like, that was a weird chapter. That's where I messed up that person's life. I'm sorry, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Happens.
What
You're just a
about you?
heartbreaker.
I'm not.
What can you say?
Let's not say that.
Nothing. Well, that concludes.
Wait, did you
No,
say yours?
you-
Did you say yours?
Oh damn. I do believe in a higher power. I feel like I don't exactly know who it is. My theory is that it's actually everyone's just one big one. But then since there's so many people, that every religion is just like a part of everybody, of that one being.
Isn't that called
It's a
something
hive
too?
mind.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't heard
Spaghetti
that
monster.
theory.
It's like something like, like I think it's just like there's too much like when you look at religions, like there's so much overlap when it comes to even like their stories and origins, where it's like, is this just the same person being, thing? Because it just also like doesn't make sense, because it's like I also think people believe in a higher power because it's so hard for us to conceptualize.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
That is where I was for a minute. I was like, I think it's just people are. That's one of the things that we don't have an answer to.
Yeah.
What happens afterwards? Because nobody wakes back up and be like,
Yeah.
well, people wake back up and tell you, but like you don't know if they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
much
like you usually don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people. That
A lot of people say that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, I woke up and I saw Jesus. I'm like, did you?
I don't know.
Did you ask the name?
I don't know. I just think higher powers are just freaky to me.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
100%.
Well, what do you mean they see everything?
Yeah. I'm like, is
Yeah.
this
I didn't
Santa
even like
Claus
Santa
now?
Claus.
No.
Can we talk about that? I hated Santa Claus as a child. What do you mean there's a big white man that walks into my house?
And he sees you
And
when
he
you're
sees
sleeping.
me. He can see me.
He
only eats cookies.
And I write a
He
stuff.
knows when you're awake.
And then
He
what
knows
if
if you're
Bad or
bad
good.
one
So
of my
be
houses
good for goodness.
one of my houses didn't have a fireplace, and I was like, how does he get in? My dad was like, I opened the door for him. I said, you let that man in.
Wait, have you guys ever heard the song called The Best Christmas Song?
No.
No, okay, I'll show it to you after this.
Oh,
It's
okay.
such a stupid song, but
Yeah.
it's so funny.
I also really love Christmas though. I don't do anything, but I like the feeling of Christmas time. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
anyways, everybody has answered. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you for coming to Still We Persist this episode. I don't know what number it is, but yeah.
Thanks
it was
for
very
watching.
deep this time, so thanks for watching.
Yes.
And we'll see you in a bit.
Benajza's a heartbreaker.
Bye.
Don't do
Aya
that.
out.
Oh, peace out.
Peace.
Aya. If that's a gang sign, delete it.
Well, this means